Hi guys, I've been getting phone calls from managers, top managers, CFOs, CEOs on what to start doing to get ready for the coronavirus. Is there something that they need to be doing, that they need to be thinking of? So that is great to be proactive, and I am glad these questions are coming up. So I have 5 different things that you can start doing right now to get ready for a possible worse outbreak than it is right now here locally in Tampa, Florida. So, number one, if you don't have a communicable disease policy in place right now, please make sure to have one. You can get a template from any HR pages online. I can send you a template if you need one. Just make sure to tweak it and make it for your company, because what you want with this policy is to let employees know what the company does and how the company stands when a pandemic occurs. So best thing to have is communication to your employees so that they don't come to you panicking and everybody knows what the company will be doing. So please have a communicable disease policy in place. If you already have one, just review it, make sure it's updated, okay? The number 2 is educate also your employees. Notice how I'm talking all about communication right now. Number 2, educate your employees on how to prevent disease, how to not spread disease as well. Number 1, if they're sick, they need to stay home. Also, have them wash their hands and educate them on washing their hands all the time. If you're in the hospitality industry, always food prepping before and after eating, before and after going to the bathroom, taking care of clients, all of that. Make sure that you have supplies of soap and hand sanitizer as well available for your employees. So give them education on how to not spread disease. Also, like sneezing, don't sneeze on your hands. Avoid shaking hands. People actually right now are avoiding shaking hands, and I know that's very hard with clients, but avoid shaking hands, avoid high five. Some people are fist bumping, and actually some people are elbow bumping as well. That could start a brand new trend. If you need to have that physical touch, love language, you can do an elbow bump and just make sure that you are not touching hands, because those hands are touching everything, doorknobs, toilet flushing, all that stuff. And that is what is spreading the disease. So that is number 2. I have also number 3. I mentioned it before. If you know that your employee is sick, don't let them come to work sick. So if anybody has a fever, let them stay home. Do what daycares do. It's a good policy to have. You cannot return to work until you are 24 hours fever free, because this is when these diseases are contagious. So have in your communicable disease policy that during these times, you should not come to work when you're sick. Now, I have to tell you here, there are a lot of people that cannot afford to miss work. They have to come to work because if you don't pay them for the day, they can't afford not to miss work and they will show up. So put something in place where they either can use their PTO, or maybe you give them 3 days of sick time per year, or there are companies that have a PTO bank, a PTO bucket, where other employees donate their PTO or part of their PTO for employees that don't have any. So this could be a good practice to have. And again, just make it so that it's not punitive, that when your employee calls in sick because they cannot come to work, they're not going to be penalized in some way. So just keep that in mind. Again, it is very difficult for some employees to miss work because they just can't afford not to be paid. So start thinking about putting something in place that is going to help them if they need to stay home. Of course, you don't want anybody to abuse the system, but during these times of pandemic, that is when I'm talking about having these systems in place. So number 4, allow for some flex arrangements. So if this person cannot come to work, and maybe they work in the administrative office and they work in accounting, even in sales, have them do work from home and hold them accountable for it. There are ways to hold people accountable. Have them go home and make phone calls and make appointments. or give them work so that they can type from a laptop. So, there are very, very different scenarios, I understand, but see if there is a way to have some flexible work arrangement to where if they cannot come to work, maybe they can work from home and they won't miss any pay. And number 5, it's always good in any scenario, not just with the pandemic, to cross-train your employees, because if somebody starts missing work for an extended period of time, that is obviously going to affect your operation. So just have something in place where maybe some of your employees or many of your employees are cross-trained, and that way it will affect as minimum as possible your daily operations. So, and don't panic. That is my last suggestion. These are always good questions that people start getting in advance. I know that everybody's out there running, grabbing soap and hand sanitizers and all kinds of stuff. The number one thing is don't panic. Don't act on that fight or flight mode. Just, calm down, use your head, get all your systems in place and be ready. If you don't need any of the stuff that you prepared, then all the better. But if you do, then you will know what to do. All right. So I hope everybody has a wonderful day and you all stay clean, stay safe, wash your hands, and I'll talk to you soon.